Okay. Um, let's see whether or not I think we're good here. Yeah. All right. Just sort of knowledge for people who may not be hearing us. We're having a little bit of technical difficulties when it's coming with the audio, but we should be good now. We'll try to talk loud. Sorry for the inconvenience. But as I will quickly go through, this is Impact 2025, just in case you missed everything from the beginning. Um, but Amani Christian Ministries, we have on Thursdays, Thursday Thirst. That's our weekly Bible study. That's at 7 o'clock. Please join us for that on Facebook and YouTube here. On Sundays at 10 o'clock, we have worship service. And that's here on Facebook and YouTube, and actually in person if you are anywhere near the address that's on the screen, the Highland Springs, Virginia area. And then on Tuesdays at 7 o'clock, we have prayer. And that's from 7 to 7:45, a time of prayer. All right. And as a reminder, if you have any comments or any questions, feel free to put those in the comments and question section. This is your opportunity to be a part of the conversation. And so today's a little different. We're going to have a guest come in and to have a part of the conversation. We constantly are talking about what's going on out in the world and how it's being presented in different locations, how it's being presented to different people and populations. So how do older people feel about different issues in the world? Younger people, how do people of color, how do people who are in school, who are out of school. And so today, what we're going to do is we're going to bring in somebody who's a little younger to be able to address some of the issues that we talk about all the time, so that we can understand when we're talking about different populations, how do they feel? What are they saying? And so this person may look a little familiar to you because the person's going to look a little bit like me because it's my son. And so now we're going to bring him in. And again, if you have any questions or any comments as we go through, please feel free to go ahead and put those in. All right. All right. And we'll go ahead and introduce yourself. Um, you could let people know your name.
Hello, my name is Nathaniel.
All right. And just for reference, you are, and let people know what grade you're in.
Third.
All right. So, pull this down, please. One of the things we've been talking about extensively throughout the time that we've been here is Black history. And so, we talked about how they have had a switch because of the whole CRT and Black history in schools. And so, let's have a real conversation and understand whether or not they're actually teaching Black history in school. So, you're in third grade.
Mm-hmm.
So, what do they teach you when it comes to Black history? It's Black History Month. Have they been teaching you stuff of Black History Month? What have they been teaching you? How often do you see or talk about Black history in school?
So we have these little books we have to read through, and then we switch about maybe every month. And our first book I think was our first book I think was a Black history book, and it would talk about Rosa Parks and other people like that. And since it's Black History Month, every time on the announcements, our principal says something or mentions some Black history people.
That's good. That's good. So do you feel like you get a good amount of Black history? So you learn about history all during the year. You learn about
Well,
American history. How do you feel like you learn enough Black history, or you get a good amount of Black history?
not really.
Do you wish they had more?
Yeah,
Less?
because in second grade they have a whole entire lesson.
Whole entire lesson on Black history?
Well, I would like a whole entire lesson.
Okay. And what kind of things do y'all talk about? Do you talk about the slavery? Do you talk about civil rights movement? Do you talk about some of the great people who invented many different things? What do y'all really talk about when you're talking about Black
We
history?
really talk about civil rights movement. We rarely talk about slavery. I mean, we do it sometimes, but rarely.
Okay.
Second grade, we definitely did more.
All right. Oh, good. And so that's that. That's been one of the things for the people out here. That's been one of the things that we've talked about is the fact that they've been kind of taking away Black history in schools. But here, it seems like we still have it. One, we're not Florida where they really are having a bigger issue with that because he named Rosa Parks, who they've had some problems with some books. Now, inside of your library, are there when you look through, are there books and stuff that has Black history in it? Books that have.
Yeah, like there's a couple like there's a whole entire series.
Mhm.
Like you can say there's a series. Well, there was a series of books. I don't know if it's still in the library, but we have some Black history books. Like we have history books. So if you go to the history, it might show you Black history.
That's good. And how do you feel when y'all are learning about Black history, or when y'all talking about Black people, when you're talking about the Civil Rights Movement, when you're talking about different things that have happened to Black people? How do you feel? Does it make you feel comfortable? Are you happy? Are you sad? Like, just how do you
I
feel?
feel disappointed
Disappointed? Can you explain more with that? Why you feel disappointed?
because people are people, and just if we're different colors doesn't mean we're really that different.
Do you think that's good? Do you think it's important that everybody learns Black history, or just the Black kids?
Everybody.
Okay.
Because everybody needs to know they did wrong sometimes.
Okay. Well, good. Now I know that because again, you're my son and we talk a lot. I know that you hear stuff about what's going on in with our leaders in this country. So just give me an idea of what do you hear from the kids when y'all talk about Donald Trump? Like, what do you hear? What do you hear about the president?
President?
Mm-hmm.
Like our president right now?
Right, Donald Trump. What do you hear about him? Y'all hear good things? Bad things? What do y'all when y'all are talking in school about it? What do y'all say?
We were in school one time and I didn't really like this conversation, but it wasn't around like the teachers, it was the kids.
Mm-hmm.
They were talking about some don't be Donald Trump, be sure. Wait, what was the other one?
Kamala Harris.
Yes, Kamala Harris. And I'm like, could y'all stop?
Okay, so do people talk about the president and different things a lot, or is that something y'all kind of just leave alone because y'all are kids?
I like to leave it alone, but I was at the Y one time and at school.
Mm-hmm.
They talked about it once, maybe might have twice, but really like once.
Okay. All right, and so, all right, no, and so that's interesting that
I
y'all.
want to try to stay away from Black history.
You said you try to stay away from it.
Yeah.
Well, explain that. Why do you say that you try to stay away from Black history?
Because really, right now, we still kind of have the same things going on. Because there's still bad people out there, and there's still people that are doing wrong stuff. So I don't really like to talk about it.
You don't really like to talk about it in class, but so you said a little earlier you thought it was important to learn about, but after learning about it, you're saying you really don't like to talk about it. Am I hearing
No,
that?
I like to do it in like class, like a class group. But when the students are just talking about it, I'm gonna leave them alone.
Okay, that's interesting. Okay, that sounds good. All right. Well, one other thing. So, when we're talking about history, we're talking about being Black. Not you, but we'll talk about other kids. So you don't have to talk about yourself. Does it seem like most of the time people are like the kids of color, whether they're Black or whether they or a different race, like they're proud of who they are, they're happy to be the color that they are, or are people just happy with who they are, or do you hear people say stuff like bad things against one race or the other? Like, Do you understand what I'm saying? I'm trying to make sure.
I mean, like.
Like, are the black kids happy to be black?
Yes, but one time they were talking about somebody of their own color and they was hitting on them.
Okay. But for the most part, with all the kids, you think all of the black kids are just happy. They're okay with being black. Okay. So the things that are being taught, I guess, are good and positive. People are proud of who they are across the board.
I'm like, why would you not be proud?
Good question. Good question. All right. Well, with that being said, because I know, big topics that we're discussing today. With that being said, one more thing we really wanted to discuss with you and ask you. And do y'all talk in school about God? And how, if you do, how often? Do y'all ever talk about?
We don't really. No, actually, no.
Right.
Because in school, the only thing they were talking about, they talk about Egypt and stuff and China. They're like, the only thing they ever said is people wanted to buy the Bible. And that was a big book, so that's why they made something. Mm-hmm. That's the only way they mentioned it.
So y'all never really talk about God in school, right?
No.
And that's not just the teachers and everything, but even when you're with your friends, y'all don't really discuss God or church or anything like that?
No.
Do you know whether or not your friends go to church or not?
No. I know not everybody in my Boy Scout goes to church.
Mm-hmm. And do you think they know that you go to church?
Yeah, because they heard me say
it. Okay. So y'all really don't discuss Christianity and church and God that much in school?
I feel like it's disrespectful.
Do you know of anybody else in different religions in school?
I mean, I know Hispanic people.
Yeah, but you know anybody who is, let's say, Muslim or Jewish? Have you ever... Or y'all don't really discuss that either?
We don't like, if you're talking about Jewish, no. Like, there's not even a single person in our class. We only deal with American and I think it's Hispanic.
Okay. All right. Well, that's good. Stay right there. All right. We really didn't have any comments today. Hopefully everybody could hear us audibly wise. I thought it was important today to bring in some young people or a young person to kind of see. Sometimes we talk so much about the rules and regulations and things that are going on and that's affecting our children and affecting them in school, or what's being taught, or what decisions that the leadership, the government is making, or what decisions and what we're making as a church or people of faith and how it's affecting kids. Sometimes it makes sense to listen to what the kids are saying. And from what I've heard today is they're not really having a conversation when it comes to God with one another. They're not talking about church with one another. They're not talking about at this level, at third grade level. They're not really doing that. They're having a little conversations about race, but not a whole lot. But the good part is that it sounds like people are proud to be who they are, whether that's black, brown, or whatever. And so that's some positive news. So it does seem like, all right, we need some work to be done when it comes to us as Christians in our faith, and making sure that our kids understand that it's okay to talk about their faith with one another. All right. Well, didn't have a lot of questions, so we're going to get out of here a little early. I thank everyone for joining us. Reminder, again, that on Tuesdays at 7 o'clock, we have prayer from 7 to 7:45. And anytime you pray in between that time, you'll be praying with all of us. On Thursdays, we have Thursday, our weekly Bible study. And on Sundays, we have worship service at 10. So please join us in any of those, Facebook and YouTube. And of course, if you can in person, you can see us right there at the address here in Holly Springs, Virginia. I want to thank everybody for joining us. We do have a comment. Oh, just as a reminder to everyone, this Friday, That will be, ooh, let me try to get the date. The 21st, this Friday on the 21st. We will be having game night here at the address you have on the screen at 7 o'clock. That is a time where everybody can come and play cards, ping pong, checkers, chess, battleship, any kind of game you want to play. We want to just come together and fellowship. What was the game you were talking about?
It's called Ships.
Ships? Okay. Or ships or whatever other game. But it's an opportunity for people to come together and just have a good time. So 7 o'clock here at Amani Christian Ministries at 501 West 9 Mile Road. Please join us if you can. It's always good to see people in person. All right. And with that, I want to thank everybody for joining us, and please join us again.